Hey guys, I have a very important topic to talk about today. It about this person. Before I start talking about them, I just want to make something clear. I'm not trying to attack them as they are my friend and I care about them. So please don't attack them. I just made this to talk about an issue. Now for some context. Loaf has made a friend on TikTok named Error and they started venting to Error about things that Loss has done, things that for someone who knows nothing about Loss might think she's a bad person, but in reality, there's more to the story. This has resulted in Error making a video calling out Loss. That video resulted in people attacking Loss on all her accounts, making her feel unsafe around anyone and caused Loss to unlist all her videos. Not to mention that people have been calling her shitty things like having a crush on a 14 to 15-year-old child predator or a bro shipper. After I talked to Loaf about it, wasn't a nice chat by the way. They got Error to take down the video, but since then Loaf started acting weird. So Loss and I decided to make this video in case they tried something bad. You can't really call Loss a bro shipper without calling Loaf one too. In fact, Loss doesn't classify as a bro shipper. A bro shipper is someone who genuinely ships siblings. Loss never shipped Sans and Papyrus for real. It was supposed to be a joke. But that's how Loss met Loaf. Loss only kept going with it because she didn't want to upset Loaf, but she never liked it to begin with. Loss never took this channel seriously as it had more shitposts than actual uploads, and she had cancelled the series because she couldn't take it anymore. And yet, despite it all, Loaf and everyone on Discord want her to return the series.
Let me interject for a moment. I know you're referring to the dumbass TikTok account I've made, and honestly, you jump too hard to conclusions. Out of the 32 videos I've made, 4 have anything related to pro or com ships. Literally, 2 of them were actual edits, and they're fucking stupid. Hey guys, this pro shipper? I kinda just looked up other acts, and thought, alright, if I'm gonna be convincing anyone, I need to have an edit or 2. And I did not want to ship incest or age gaps because that's fucking disgusting. And I did not want to convince other people to fall down that rabbit hole, so I left it at 2 videos, which I thought was enough to mark me, and then started posting other shit. When I couldn't find your account anymore, I got excited because I thought you blocked me, but then I got mysteriously followed by this account. I was getting scared that you were peeking at my account, waiting to rip me apart after looking at everything, but I didn't even do anything too bad, and then that account was gone by the end of the day. So I went back to posting regular content. This is only the first interjection. Let's move on.
That is pretty much false accusation. How could Loss have a crush on Loaf if she's aromatic? After all, Loss did say before,
I am aromantic, so the love I feel is not romantic. It is purely platonic love, but with a twist. If I am not around said person, I just do not feel happy.
Not to mention that Loaf was completely okay with this before. So why is this suddenly a problem? When Loss and I made the Luca ship joke, this was Loaf's reaction. Also, this
Let me stop you right there, chica. This channel was a genuine joke. Though, you asked me to include these screenshots for this point. I personally don't hold these against them. This was back in August or September, when my obsession was only beginning. They did not understand what they were fueling and getting into. I doubt they even understood that I tried to kill myself in October or November out of fear of hurting them further with my obsessive behavior. This actually goes into the next point.
This made me and Loss really mad and sad because what they said makes it seem they wanted Loss to actually die. And being a person with suicidal thoughts, that really hurt my feelings too. Really, dude, how is this helping? You just ruined Loss's safe venting place. And you think this is helping? Wow, just wow.
The replies made me really sad and triggered quite an episode because it genuinely seemed like if I had succeeded, I would have had more respect instead of just, oh, they were baiting lol. I attempted my last 2 times out of genuine sadness and fear, but you wouldn't understand that. In addition, you ignore what I've told you for the 80 millionth time about how familial situations and local policies make it harder to book an appointment. There's more about this later.
I tried talking to Loaf about this as a friend discussing an issue with their friend to try to fix the problem. And yes, it has been 2 weeks since the drama happened. I wanted to confront Loaf earlier, but Loss didn't want to cause more drama. So we stayed quiet till Loss actually agreed to let me talk. So I wrote what I wanted to say in my notes to make sure that I didn't sound mean or harsh, and after I was done, I sent it to Loaf. Then they send this to Loss. Despite that loss, and I had a feeling they would do something, so we decided to make this video just in case. As I was editing this video, Loss sent me this.
I was going to blur this out of the video since it felt like it was too much, but then I remembered they didn't blur out any of my rants.
Now, as Loss said 100 times, she cannot go to therapy. The therapist would have to tell her mom if she threatens to kill herself or other people. Her mom would send her to her grandma in India, which is bad cause her grandma sucks and she won't be able to contact any one of us. So do you really want that? Loss had the secret channel to vent and heal and hold on till she goes to an actual therapist without the dangers of her family. She made videos about how bad her relationship with Loaf was, as that was an actual problem, but she still loved Loaf, though with how much Loaf endangered her by venting to Error, she doesn't anymore.
Actually, I started hating them for a while before that.
Instead of trying to improve their relationship with Loss, they made it worse. Loaf had the right to be mad in the last drama, but this time they don't. What happened this time was their fault, and yes, they do have a point in some things, but honestly, it doesn't excuse what they did. And also, I'm not on Lucy's side just because she's my filler friend. Remember last drama, despite the fact that Lucy was my filler friend, I was on your side because you were right about the bad things she did, like hurting herself, but this time is different.
Now for the things I have to say. Buckle up, folks. I would have thought you stopped caring about my rage-induced content by now because I don't give two shits about you ranting about me, really. And oh boy, you have no idea about how negatively I obsessed over Error. As long as that video was up, I felt unsafe. I just wanted it to be taken down. And you say you were defending me as you told everyone I was suicide baiting and hopeless. It honestly seemed more like you were trying to defend yourself more than anything. Yes, I made 120 videos on a fucking vent channel about my problems with literally everything, because I'm not able to contain my problems to save my life. Damn sorry, I'm not equipped to bottle up my emotions and need an obscure outlet to let them out effectively. Except I'm not, because that is quite literally human nature to need to let out emotions. And while I would love to tell a therapist or something, I've already explained it over and over again, so now I use YouTube as an outlet. And I would still love to see you try to deal with my delusions on a daily basis, both the good and bad. For example, I held onto a used tissue because for a day, I genuinely believed I would be in danger if I let it go, because the snot and tears would trace back to me and things would find me. And that's not including hallucinations I get, such as when I dropped a plate because I could see and feel cockroaches crawling on my hands. Or when I walked into town square with my mom and her friends, seeing creepy figures looking at me and fueling my delusion with the used tissue. Or when I started hallucinating snails crawling up the walls of my shower. Or the saddest of all, when my mind had to start thinking for two people since I was unable to function and I needed someone else to just talk to. Now, you are free to rant. I do not care that you ranted about me, but you've unintentionally put my life in danger. Literally. I was seriously considering ending it because I couldn't handle the consequences of being alive to get doxxed and swatted. And I don't blame either of you because considering what you've probably told him out of context, he had every right to defend you. But I'd think I had a right to be even the slightest bit angry after the meltdown episode I had. I didn't want to drag out the drama any further, so I just went off in private, which I think is justifiable since that's basically what you did. Again, I don't care about what you do, so stop caring about what I do. I literally have to hide from you just to feel secured and the slightest bit of peace. You have not seen the recent rants I've made, and it is going to stay that way since you are the last person I would want to open up with. If you cared that I tried to commit, then why do you continue to just push off my attempts as bait? I genuinely did not care if you came back or fucking talked to me. I was doing it out of my own sadness and feelings of worthlessness. All you saw was wahawa, there is no one here to stop me now, so I'm gonna do it, washa. Not only was I under the impression that you didn't see it at least until you came back, but now it felt necessary to attempt. I finally get to see my true worth, or lack thereof. Oh, stop being dramatic, literally stop. This is how I feel. And no shit, I'm not gonna talk things out with you. If you can't handle videos and posts, then you would not be able to handle how angry I would get to your face, or anyone's face for that matter. I've gotten mad at everyone including Chica at least once. The only person who theoretically could handle my rage would be random, and I feel bad telling him anything. Hell, I felt bad for this. And this is nothing compared to what I would say to anyone else's face. That's why I had a whole channel for this. And to everything on the next page. If you think I need therapy so bad, why don't you? You continuously yell at me to get therapy while you pull this shit. I can't tell if I'm being insensitive, but you'll fucking yell at me for hurting myself and being disconnected from reality and not getting help for it when I literally can't, but you have the resources. I know you're scared after being forced in the past, but considering you'll yell at me despite me not only having the resources, but being scared because of past experiences getting exposed for what was happening and being forced to go as well, I think it's fair if I just try to convince you. Anyways, I think that's all for my parts.
We only wanted this mess to be fixed, and now that we explained stuff, we are finally done with this video anyway. Bye.